How's it going, everyone? Sinister the Gamer Section bringing you another review, and today I'm covering Baldur's Gate 3 for the PlayStation 5. This game is also available on the PC and coming soon to the Xbox Series S and X. Your party has been captured and held prisoner. If that's not enough, you've been infected with the Iliad tadpoles, which controls its host, and now you have to trek through to find a healer to remove the infection before the mind completes taken over by the tadpoles. Graphically, Baldur's Gate is presented in an overhead isometric view just like Diablo. The cinematics is amazingly like watching a movie like The Lord of the Rings. And as for the game itself, it's very detailed on the character models depending on which race you pick from. The environments have lights and darks, plus you can change how it looks with the HDR. The animation is smooth and fluid, running at 60 frames per second. The menus are well organized, easy to follow when it comes to your stats, basic RPG mechanics. And there's a mini-map that shows you the layout where you're at. The voice acting is cool and reminds you of Game of Thrones, and you hear their narration throughout the gameplay just to follow the plot along. You talk to other party members to see how they react to you. Fans of the series will enjoy this one. Baldur's Gate 3 is a turn-based isometric RPG where everyone takes a turn during different actions. You create your character based on the race, class, etc., and you can roam the area freely and interact with objects. Like, for example, if you see dead bodies around on the ground, you can loot them to see anything valuable they have. When it comes to the combat, it's turn-based and you only move a certain number of spaces, either to attack or to avoid conflict. Your enemies can do the same thing, so best to plan accordingly. Once you defeat them, you can loot their bodies and then move on. In between battles, you can talk to whoever who's with you and talk, choices to, break up the gameplay. Another addition is to the gameplay is you can roll the dice, and this happens when you run into certain characters in certain situations, like with intelligence and other action. This works, with the numbers shown. You have to be on the money, either be above it or you fail if you get below it. So basically, if you fail, you fail that challenge, and you're out of luck. However, if you get above on the number and above, you win. And this will boost your stats. So basically, seeing this as a challenge, and it's like a form of gambling. But seeing this kind of reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons. When you roll the dice. But as usual, you level up after fighting enemies, and you get stronger as you take on tougher foes. When it comes to the gameplay, you're only limited what you can do in battle, what makes it tougher and it hurts the game flow. And another thing, Baldur's Gate is like Diablo. When you pause the game, it leaves you open to enemy attacks because the game is always online. Feeling that, having a single player mode, you can pause the menu whenever you need a break. However, with this presentation is great, but the turn-based drags this game down. However, Baldur's Gate is geared towards the fans of the series. I give Baldur's Gate 3 a 3 out of 5. Thank you for tuning in to the best place for gaming. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to drop us a